Good evening and welcome to the January 3rd, 2019 meeting. If we could all stand for the pledge.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you all for coming this evening. Just to note, exits to the rear and the side here. Get right to business. I need a motion to accept the minutes of December 4th.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second that.
Any discussion?
Oh, was that correction made?
Yes.
Okay, there was a correction that I asked Ann Margaret to make for the December 4th minutes that showed that trustee Alley was absent, but that she had voted to accept the minutes from
Right.
November 8th, and she made that correction.
Okay, so we had a first and second. Call the question?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, so carried. Okay, I need a motion to approve the minutes for the December 18th meeting.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Any discussion there?
Nope.
Call the question?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye, so carried, 5-0. I'm sorry?
Is this one on?
Yes. Okay, first order of business, resignation of Matthew Gamm, part-time dispatcher. Trustee Holt.
Yes, in a memo from Sergeant Amatetti, he asks that we accept the resignation of part-time dispatcher Matthew Gamm. He will be attending the New York State Police Academy to pursue a position as a New York State Trooper. Effective January 7th, 2019. We wish him all the best. I'd like to put that in the form of a motion.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Call the question?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye, so carried. All the best to Mr. Gamm, good man. Okay. Next order, copiers. At our December 18th board meeting, I requested that the matter was tabled until we had additional time to research some last-minute changes and adjustments from questions that had arisen. But after that, we've got it settled out. Basically, it boiled down to we brought 3 bidders in. They all returned bids. And based on cost and how they presented their product and what type of support we would get, based on that, we decided to move forward with Toshiba and present that to the board. You all had an opportunity to read through those. The Toshiba Business Solutions proposed 2 copies, one for the upstairs purpose and one for the downstairs. It's a 60-month lease. It was purchased or was leased through the New York State Contract Deferred Payment Plan, which means at the end of the 60 months, we own it. Their per-month lease included black and white and color copy, and it was based upon the usage from our existing equipment. So the new proposal that they made would actually make it very similar. So we knew what we were dealing with. No surprises there. And they came up with a very attractive lease agreement for us. So I'd like to read the following. Resolved that the Board of Trustees approved the lease agreement with Toshiba Business Solutions for the 2 copies of Village Hall through the New York State Contract Deferred Payment Plan, contract number PT 66615, for a 60-month lease. The maintenance contract includes all the parts, labor, and toner, and maintenance pricing is fixed for the term of the lease. And just to be clear about that, so everybody understands, if should we go over the cost basis that was originally initiated for the lease, would also go into the overage. So there's no additional penny per copy or anything like that. It's the same number that they actually installed in the original lease. So that was a great piece of bargaining there. There's no additional charge for the shipment of supplies. The copiers will be a model 4515 AC, and the cost is $441 per month for both units. So effectively $220.50. The lease payment will be allocated from budget line A1620.452, Village Hall Maintenance. I need a motion.
I'll make the motion.
Any questions on this at all? Everybody's good? Call the question?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, so carried, thank you. That's a 7 to 10 day turnaround, just to let everybody know, just reached out to him just to get a little clarity on that. Okay. Also, too, on the 2019 Village of Monroe Special Events Permit Application, we talked about this in the December 18th meeting,
Yes.
and we were going to give council an opportunity to further investigate some of the requirements that are in the document.
Mm-hmm.
And due to the fact that, A, she's not here, and B, she hasn't opined to us, I think we should table it
Mhm.
until the next
I agree.
meeting, where we can continue the conversation, and hopefully close it out. Okay. Next item is a request for assistance, town water account, 10017.
I do have that.
Yep.
All right, so as we discussed the last time, we cannot gift water. Unfortunately, I understand there's a hardship there, and I would make the suggestion that we offer her a payment plan similar to what we had offered two of our other customers, if the board is interested in doing so. Which she would obviously have to keep up with her water bill, maintain her water bill, but then allow her maybe 2 or 3 cycles to catch up
Okay,
as well. I'm sorry,
okay, yeah.
5?
Well, the board passed a resolution a few months back indicating that the water department could go ahead and just offer a payment plan to customers who needed assistance, and it was spanned over 12 months.
12 months, correct.
12 monthly payments, penalty would be withheld, and that they would have to maintain their,
I remember. Yep. So that's what I would suggest.
I agree.
Okay, so, based on that recommendation, does the board wish to approve a letter be sent to the ratepayer advising her that she would be given an opportunity to make 12 equal payments to bring her account up to current?
Yep.
Including the regular quarterly payments that
Mhm.
are due in the current periods, and that also, should she fall into default from the prior and/or the current, the abated penalties would then bring back the accrual.
Mm-hmm.
you should also include the resolution. The penalties already, the account's already been assessed 2 penalties, so just include that we'll go back and issue credits for those if she accepts the terms. Because she's already been hit with almost $200 in penalties on the account for December and January.
Okay, well, I think what I'd like to do is to offer to account 10017 the opportunity to pay in 12 equal installments their outstanding water bill, currently in arrears, with 2 penalties been applied, with appropriate credits being issued, should she agree to these terms, which include that they be paid each month on time, and that she does not fall into arrears. Otherwise, the accruals will come back, and the current penalties will also be applied.
Correct.
Okay, I need a motion.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Call the question.
Aye.
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 Aye, so carried. So we're gonna draft a letter. Okay, new business. Obviously, we're all quite aware that we've been served with a lawsuit by the Smith Farm developer, and as such, I I've reached out to an attorney, law firm, and I'd like to read that into the minutes. Whereas an Article 78 proceeding has been commenced by BMG Monroe 1 LLC, naming the Village of Monroe Zoning Board of Appeals, its individual members, and the Village of Monroe Building Inspector as respondents. And whereas the Village Board of Trustees has determined to defend the zoning board, its members, and the building inspector in said litigation, and whereas the law firm of Burke, Mealy, Golden, and Norton LLP is counsel to the zoning board and represented and advised the zoning board during BMG's appeal of the building inspector's interpretation of the zoning law, and is therefore knowledgeable of the facts and law at issue. Now therefore be it resolved that the Village Board of Trustees hereby appoints the law firm of Burke, Mealy, Golden, and Norton LLP to represent the Village of Monroe Zoning Board, its individual members, and the building inspector in this matter at the hourly rate set forth in BMG and N's retainer agreement, plus costs and disbursements. I need a motion.
Make the motion.
I'll second.
Call the question?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye, so carried. Okay. That's the last piece I have on new business. I don't have anything to report for myself. Do the trustees have anything?
No, other than I hope that everyone has a very prosperous new year, and healthy one, too.
Okay, public.
John?
Please, John. Would you
Yes,
mind?
please.
Yes, please. Good evening.
Happy New Year. Question on that law, that Article 78 you got?
Yes,
Did you turn that over to your insurance carrier?
yes.
Okay, are they the ones that are recommending? Or they,
We recommend it to them.
okay,
Yeah.
gotcha, okay. What's the status on the water transmission lines up at the reservoir to the filter plant?
So the first goal we had was to reach out for grants. We applied for a WIA grant through the federal and state funding, and we were declined. So we had to subsequently ask, do we want to reapply? So we did. The project in and of itself is prohibitive for ratepayers, in my opinion, and the board's opinion. So we've scheduled a meeting with our Delaware Engineering Group to come down and to give us options on how we can move forward on this. So as of right now, we're waiting for Delaware Engineering to come down. I think they're coming down the 18th. And we're going to have a site visit and a meeting to discuss what options we have and what is involved in reapplying, because the reapplying information has already been done. We paid to have it done. So now, all that information now just goes right back into 2019. That's pretty much where we're at right now.
I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Last thing I had to know, Virginia Carey retired. And she was here in the room. The last mayor had made mention that there was going to be street signs put up on Franklin Avenue. Remember that?
Named after Virginia.
Yeah. And the blue sign, similar to what you have for Marie Coleman up by the veterans. So I just want to make sure you don't forget that.
No, signs have been made. We have them.
Oh, you have? Okay.
And I was actually told that she wasn't thrilled about that.
That is correct.
She didn't want that. Well, I'm going to respect Virginia, and I understand that, I understand her reasoning. So that's probably why they're just still sitting here, John.
I was just, yeah. 'cause I
Yeah,
hadn't
no,
seen
it's not
that.
anything that we didn't forget, it's we're respecting Virginia's wish.
So we'll
If she
kinda-
chooses to change, though, the signs are here.
Yeah, well, maybe give her one she can hang it in her garage or something.
Right.
I wasn't,
Yeah.
No,
But I can see
and we're
Jenny
all
going
playing,
that
yeah,
route.
we
I
were all
know it
kind of
was
dumbing it up.
Talked about, I just
Yeah.
wanted to make sure.
Yeah, no, we definitely did, and,
And it's the right thing to do, and I agree with you 1,000%. But I guess once she got wind of it, however that might have happened.
no, it was right here.
Yeah,
No,
we
no,
first,
no, I'm talking about when the naming, when we told her we were
Oh,
going to do it.
yeah.
I think she was.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, sir.
Have a great evening. Anybody else?
Okay. I have to make a motion that we adjourn our meeting.
I will make that motion that we adjourn the meeting at 7:18 PM.
And I will gladly second that motion at 7:18.
And I'll accept that motion with regret. All right, call the question?
Aye.
What regret?
Aye. So carried. Thank you. Good night.